Last week on Outback House, Russell the farrier was injured when he fell from a horse. The governess, Genevieve, was struck down by illness and had to leave for hospital. And the squatters' management of Oxley Downs was put under scrutiny by the all-powerful Commissioner of Crown Lands.
I'm just confirming now.
With the squatters' lease approved for another year, the men are thrown into the deep end with orders to wash every sheep before shearing. Welcome to Oxley Downs, a 19th century sheep station cut off from the modern world. Out here, a group of Australians, men, women and children, are living as squatter family, domestic servants and station workers. They're on their own, and just like the original pioneers, success or failure is entirely up to them. Join them as they take on the challenge of outback life for real in 1861.
They're heading down now, Bernie?
Yeah, they're heading, yeah. Yeah, they hit that fence and they're heading down.
It's crunch time on Oxley Downs. The financial success of the station depends on squatter Alcorn's first wool clip. Before the sheep can be shorn, they need to be washed. But finding them all is a real problem. Over the last 9 weeks, the sheep have scattered across the station. Over 10,000 acres of sprawling paddocks and bush. By mid-morning, sheep numbers are nowhere near the quota the squatter needs to start shearing.
What was the initial count?
I think about 1360 now.
About 1360? Oh yeah, that's right.
The stock has to be found, washed and dried before the shearers arrive in a few days.
The mobs we've seen have been a lot bigger than they were initially when we saw them the other day, so that they will take sort of 3 or 4 days and they mob up into bigger mobs, and hopefully we should have far more successful mustering day when we attack it again.
In the 1860s, good professional shearers were hard to find. If the men can't muster all the sheep in time, the reduced wool clip could spell ruin for squatter Alcorn. The mob is growing, but the rising summer heat is slowing the surge. It's late November, and temperatures have soared into the mid-40s. In the kitchen, it's a searing pressure cooker for Bridget, as the open fire and oven push the mercury even higher.
Today's been really, really hot. I have no idea what temperature it is, and it's really draining. I think this is the hottest place to be, actually, on the station. So I'm starting to worry a little bit about how we're going to cope when it gets even hotter, and if it's going to be like this all the way through December, it's going to be really hard because it just really takes it out of you, and it's hard just to stay motivated to keep going. Yeah, so, don't know, might have to work through the night or something.
The heat is oppressive, making every movement a real chore. With no air conditioning, no refrigeration, and no cold water, it's like living life in a furnace.
any shape with 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you make that a straight...
The schoolroom in the main house is the
No, it can
coolest
be any
place on
shape
the
with 5
station.
sides. So if you write 6 next to that, 1 at the top, and then 2 pointies like a star.
2 pointies, that's cute.
That's it. Now square, don't do that to the chair.
With no governess to help, Julie turns playtime into school time
You could write a
as she
story
becomes
about
full-time
what
teacher
when do we
while
eat
also
all that.
managing the household staff.
A couple of sentences with those words in it.
As the day grows hotter, the search for the sheep is put on hold. As the men decide to return to the station to take care of some of the horses that need shoeing. It's been planned for weeks, but farrier Russell has been unable to work since he damaged tendons in his riding accident.
This one, mate.
Even though he finds it difficult to stand, Russell insists on showing the men how to do his job. If he doesn't, the unfinished muster is at risk.
You got veins running down your leg, yeah? So most important is get that in there, get that open in. No, hold it in line with the hook. That's it, not much more. Keep going. So he's got a bit of a bruise there.
Here?
There.
Oh, all right.
We're having to shoe all these horses, and it's bloody hard for him. He's communicating with us and trying to do it through us.
No, you're going to dig holes. Because this is where they'll get corns.
Yeah, we've never done it before, so obviously he's going to get a bit frustrated with us, and us with him getting frustrated with us. So that's a pretty sort of painful process working through with him.
That's it. Now lift it up and put it on there. Put the foot, that on that. That's it, that's it. Same angle as the foot.
So Peter, the real estate agent, and Adam, the sailor, get a tough
Maybe the
lesson
floor's
in the
going to
reality of
run up
outback life in 1861.
He's pretty adamant that he wants another farrier to come in and finish the job, but yeah, it's one of those things you just need to bite the bullet and just get it done.
It's a group effort, as Bernie lends a hand to give the men a spell.
Same hole. Hit it hard. Oh, you ripper. Jeez, you're better than me. It's perfect. That's it. That's it.
The muggy heat eventually drains everyone's energy. But with no governess around to structure their day, the girls are making the most of the scorching weather. Meanwhile, Julie becomes even more exhausted by her extra duties and worries about the children's undisciplined freedom.
You know, no one can replace Genevieve in her qualities or what she could teach, but the children need structure because the children don't have another child to go and say, let's play this or let's do this. But I'm under a lot of pressure to entertain them, keep them going, keep them stimulated, make them understand that they've got to give the adults space.
That's all I need. Pull back. That's it. Hold on. Push it forward. Push it forward.
Washing up. This way.
Until the evening after the visit was paid, she had no knowledge of it. She was a woman of mean understanding, little information, and uncertain temper. When she was
Dan, the
discontented,
station's
she
jack of
fancied
all
herself
trades,
nervous.
uses
The
Jane
business of her
Austen to
life
entertain
was
the
to get hold
girls
of
during a
Jane.
rare moment
Its
of quiet,
solace was visiting
while they
Jane
wait
Austen.
for the return of their
Jackson
governess.
Bingley. He had always intended to visit him.
Julie has been anxiously waiting for days for news from Genevieve.
Close enough.
Finally, word arrives from the outside.
I've returned to my family home in Brisbane to town to find my mother gravely ill and needed continuing care. In addition, my own health is still poorly, and our physician advises that I am likely to be unfit for travel for several weeks. For the above reasons, it is with deep regret that I am able to return to Oxley Downs to resume my duties as governess. Thank you for your kindness extended to me. Yours most sincerely, Genevieve Yates. Hope the mother's okay.
Just dealing with the girls again. It's just one thing after another.
Do you actually live in Sydney?
Yeah. Sure do.
Where did you used to live? Genevieve might not be coming back. That's why Perrette was crying.
When you have a reasonably small community like this, the effect of somebody leaving, it's felt immediately. And for the children, it's actually very disconcerting.
I really miss Genevieve. And she's still a bit sick. And she sent us a letter and we're going to send her cards. And I've already made mine, but I want to put more decorations on. I really miss her.
Just mark in all the shadows that you think, and then you can come back and highlight.
And Genevieve's the best teacher I've ever had. She's taught me most things since she's been here. The most things I've ever learned. She's taught me algorithms and whatever Dad calls them, logarithms. And I really want to thank her for that.
I write with the very sad news that our governess, Miss Yates, will not be returning to Oxley Downs. She is sorely missed. I pray we may be fortunate in obtaining another governess for the children at an earlier rather than later date. Yours sincerely, Paul Alcorn, squatter, Oxley Downs.
Ow! You had it last night. I like my 2 pillows, isn't it? Great.
Yes? Well, just get up back into bed.
Well, the breeze is coming through.
Yes, here's the breeze.
I'm not like close to you anyway. You're so ugly.
Guys.
Daddy. Daddy.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. You want what? Here, let's drink some water.
I've got an idea. What? Every Saturday night, let's camp out.
Yeah.
Then we can really sleep in.
Yeah.
The maids, Danielle and Claire, have spent the night out bush without permission.
We're going to get back late.
This is why I'm still angry. Yeah. Okay? And I just have to talk to them. It's not on. It's not on, darling.
No.
Do you see what I mean? They were not going to clean the kitchen. I did it with them until I got up and did it.
No.
And they expect to have this lovely starry night.
When we usually get up, where that light is on my wall, it's about 6.
Well, that means we've got an hour and a half.
Best Sunday morning. Best Sunday morning. No coffee grinders. Don't talk about that stuff.
It was a very simple request. It was a very simple request.
The maids are not the only ones annoying Julie. Persephone hasn't done her morning chores before school, which begins at 8.
You will now have 4 hours of schooling today, and my day is ruined because you can't be bothered doing what I asked.
I did.
No, it is after. It's 8:30, and school started ages ago.
I was making the bed and Portia wouldn't help me.
When there's no routine, there's no discipline, there's no follow-on, nothing works regularly. It's a fight the whole time. If there's no discipline and no routine, I have to push the whole time, and I just don't have the energy to keep pushing for another 4 weeks.
Morning, Paul.
Morning, Claire. Morning, Daniel.
That was huge. We had like a tree on the fire.
I don't know.
You get a roux out there.
Yeah. How's it going?
Caught him with your bare hand.
What do you do, eh? Dealing with maids.
Boundaries mean everything in the 19th century outback.
Did he? All right.
In the 1860s, wire fences were too expensive to build, and stock roamed for miles. So it's a huge relief when Bernie finally tracks down a large mob of wethers.
Sheep are quite reluctant to run. It's amazing how much like sheep are like people. They're lost without a leader. Yeah, Paul, come down. Yeah, lock them up. No, Paul. Go that way, go that way. Come on. Working sheep, you have to be reasonably patient. Not patient when you start, you're patient when you finish. 80, 82, 84, 86, 88, 89, 90, 92, 94, 96, 98, 300, 2, 4, 608.
608.
608, so, yeah, so.
It's good.
I can't, that count's not 100% as you would imagine. There's a few escapees. And with those other few that are at the dam, I'll get them in the morning. Well, our numbers will be virtually spot on, I think. So.
In her parlour, Julie resorts to Mrs. Beaton's book of household management for advice on how to deal with her domestic staff. Published in 1861, it contains precise instructions on the duties of household maids.
The duties of a maid of all work. I mean, it's amazing what she has to do. I mean, she doesn't sit down. On leisure days, the housemaid should be able to do some needlework for her mistress. It is almost essential that a housemaid in a small family should be an expert needlewoman, as if she be a good manager and active girl, she will have time on her hands to get through plenty of work. I mean, if I turned around and said to Claire, well, you've got an hour and a half off, you can't go riding, you can't go for a walk, you've got my needlework to do, what would she do?
We didn't even know if we were doing it yet.
But no, because the decision's hers. You have to ask her.
Yeah, but
first. She's the boss.
I don't see what the big deal is. I really don't. Because we got back like in time for breakfast.
Yeah, but it's 1861. You're two girls. It's not how things would have been. You're the maids.
And are you the shepherd, Dan?
But I've renegotiated my role. What I'm saying to you is that in the structure of what we're doing here, you have to ask. You had planned exactly what you were going to do before you knew whether you had permission. I understand why Julie's upset.
I want to be here to help you. And
Yeah, I know. But if she wants you in there doing stuff in the house, then that's where you should be. You're her maid, so
yeah,
go and check that out, all right?
Yeah.
And find out what the story is.
So, if you were employed in 1861, every day the so-called floors will be brushed, washed and polished. All the brass will be polished every day. All the silver will be polished every day. The linen will be refolded once a week and put away. Every room should be dusted every day and swept.
I eat standing up, I comb my hair, and then I get to it. Put me out of here. Can we finish the dishes?
I'll do this.
Are you sure?
Yeah. You okay?
No. I need to just go for a walk that way for a little while.
Go ahead.
Have a bit of a scream.
Danielle has also been in constant conflict with the squatter's wife. As a 17-year-old from the 21st century, she resents the authority and discipline imposed by life in 1861.
Julie gets angry at me because I'm not doing all the heavy work, but Bridget just likes doing it, and so I feel like it's just stupid, and I keep on telling her to tell me to do things, and she gets me to do all these light little jobs, and she goes and fills the buckets and fills the urns and things like that, and it's my job. She should just tell me to do it. It'll keep me out of trouble and it'll keep me happy. I'm not thinking about other people at the moment, I'm thinking about myself. If my family were here, like, it'd be great, but they're not, and I just don't see the point of being out here.
Danielle's here. She'd like to have a chat with both of us.
I don't want to be here anymore and I want to go home.
I don't think Julie wants you to go.
I don't want you to go. It's really hard playing this role. It's really hard doing this. But nothing actually, if I stop actually implementing some rules and regulations, it doesn't work. I've worked in the kitchen. I've worked in the laundry. Those rules have to go because it doesn't work without them.
I don't want you to go.
I'd be very upset if you left.
So would I be, but...
Don't leave.
Because it's not being here that makes it hard. It's being away from my family.
Obviously, we can't provide as much mutual support to Danielle as she would get from her family. Well, that's obvious, but I think she hesitates when she thinks about it. So obviously, we've gone some way down that path. As I say, any one of us leaving lessens us.
And it's not because it was hard out here. It's just that when your family aren't here, it's just not as happy. Like, I know the three girls, it'd be hard for those here at Portia and Persephone because they're missing their friends, but they still have their family here. And I think that if I had at least my mum here the whole time, it'd be cinch. I'd be able to get through it so much, it'd be just like camping. I don't go camping without my family. I never have.
Coming out with us when we go and get the stores.
I'm going out with you guys. When's that?
1:30.
That's okay.
So you can hang until then?
Yeah.
So we'll be going out at 1, just after lunch.
Okay.
Nobody's sort of said anything much about what's going to happen with Danielle going. Just have to cope without her, basically. But it's going to be a little bit harder with the shearers coming and with Christmas coming up. And it's just hot. When it gets really, really hot like this, you just don't feel like doing anything anyway. And with a bit of extra work to do and one person down, it's going to be hard. I know she really wants to go, and I suppose I should be happy for her. But at the moment, I'm just pissed off. I think she's really going to regret it.
It's going to be sad and lonely. No more Roggeries around.
Some people don't understand why I want to go, some people do. Paul doesn't really go, not one little bit, but I'm the only person that knows really what is best for me, and I'm quite happy with my choice. I will regret it a little bit, just what I've missed out on, like in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Nothing will be the same as this experience ever. It's really great, and I thank everybody that helped me be a part of this. Thank you, because it was a good decision. I'm so glad I came here. I mean, I know that I've become a stronger person, and I know that, like, I'm never going to look at the world the same again.
I don't know if she made the right or wrong decision, but I think it would be good for her benefit to go home and be happy with her family and her boyfriend. Yeah.
These are the stores they've ordered for Christmas, something Danielle will no longer share. It's a symbolic moment as she waits for transport back into the 21st century. With Danielle gone, Julie has less time with her children because she's helping out in the kitchen. It's a reality that's starting to impact on the girls, especially 10-year-old Perrette.
I'm sick of being with my sisters. I'm sick of being here. I'm with everybody. Same person saying hi and 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 hi over and over again. And how are you and I love you is just no. I like seeing different people every day. I miss my friends. I want to go home. I miss my family outside there. And if I don't go home for Christmas, I'm giving everybody a hard time.
Walk on. Walk on, G. Walk on.
Go home.
I'll hold him. Do you want to jump off for it? Where would you like the flower bridge? Flower?
Good work.
Yeah? You've been missing that? You've been missing that? You all right with it? Yep. Pull it on.
Along with the supplies from his stock and station agent,
Hang on.
Paul receives a letter with information about a new governess.
Put them on that brand if you like.
My colleague has kindly introduced me to his present governess, Miss Fiona Schubert, who is intending to return to Sydney with the family to find further employ. After a lengthy conversation with my colleague and his governess, I am certain that Miss Schubert, a teacher, musician, seamstress, which is good, and woman of many skills, will ideally fulfil the role of governess at Oxley Downs. He's actually got somebody here. Miss Schubert expects that she could leave for Oxley Downs by about midweek. In fact, if I spot that hawker, who I understand is intending to travel to Oxley Downs sometime on Wednesday morning, and if Miss Schubert has attended all her business by then, I will insist that this chap provide the young lady with transport. There's the bush telegraph off. All being well, I suspect that your 3 young children will see a new governess this week.
Anything else? What is she?
Well, she's a musician and seamstress.
Teacher.
And a woman of many skills.
It's Wednesday morning, and Peter and Bernie have finally mustered most of the scattered sheep back to the homestead, ready for washing. The men's decision to wash the sheep is essential to the survival of Oxley Downs, as a clean fleece will return 50% more than unwashed wool at market. The energy-draining heat has been blown away by a fresh southerly and brings with it hawkers sing.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
It's been a month since he visited Oxley Downs, and on this trip he carries an important passenger, the new governess, Fiona Schubert.
I'm expecting to be assaulted with all my senses. I'm expecting to feel an overwhelming sense of excitement that's growing with every second that passes.
Keep going, boys.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Ring the bell, Brett, ring the bell. She's dressed in blue. And stop.
Hello, how are you? I'm very good, thank you. I brought you a new governess. Yeah, back to work, yes. I am very good, thank you. I am very good, thank you. Welcome back. It is nice to be back, and I brought you a cool change as well. Okay.
For Fiona, who teaches at a boys' high school,
Yes. Almost elegant, but not quite. Sorry.
outback life on Oxley Downs will be a shock to the senses, just as it would have been in the 19th century.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
In the
That's
1860s,
very kind
the
of
educated daughters of upper-class Australian or British families were employed to bring a sense of civility to children of the outback.
I'm very pleased to
And then
meet
show
all
off
of you.
I'm Julie.
catalogue.
Julie Orcourt, their
Julie.
mother. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
I'm sorry I'm not as well dressed as you.
Well, I've lost my hat so many times, but my hair is just not going to stay as neat as it was either, but I think I'll get over that pretty quickly.
I think you were looking at us, yes. You could have having neat hair doesn't exist here.
I was shocked when I came in and saw everyone in their petticoats and corsets.
Hello, good, how are you?
Oh, very good, thank you.
I felt severely overdressed, but that was, I suppose, a very real experience and perception for governesses of the time, that they would arrive in this place that they thought was going to be one thing and turned out to be totally different.
Have you had any rain at all?
In the last 2 months, what, 3 days? Don't we? And they're ready for school. Aren't you?
Excellent. I've been preparing for you.
Yes. Now, when Genevieve, the last governess, was here, we hung all this here for this very reason, to stop the dust and the wind. But it doesn't stop the flies. I'm very sorry. For you?
Thank you very much.
I might get...
Well, it's a shock. Frankly, it's a lot more basic than I thought it was going to be. A lot more.
We can get it on there.
Yes, so I'll do it.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this house to be as small as it is. I didn't expect this house to have holes in it. I thought everything would be covered in.
Oh, wow. Oh, God, what are you doing, Bridget? Jubes!
This is the last chance everyone will have to buy treats and presents, because in the 21st century, Karen Singh owns a busy restaurant and won't have time to return before Christmas.
The ladies of the house want any pickled onions or gherkins?
Karen is a good salesman, but for the people of Oxley Downs, his visit means much more than just an opportunity to buy his wares.
3 shillings each, yes?
Yeah, you got a lighter cart for the horses.
A lighter cart, I will finish it next
In the
hour.
19th century, the gossip and much awaited news hawkers brought with them from the outside world was an extra treat for isolated station folk.
This is all your wages, guys.
Yeah.
Cool. You're happy with that?
Yeah, your people's Christmas coming, you must stock up.
Take a seat. You'll need a big seat with your dress.
Yes. I'm only just mastering how to sit down in it.
You're right.
Do they play the piano at all?
The one that will really be willing to learn is Pirette.
Help Mr. Karam sing.
Persephone has absolutely no interest. But if you can teach her to sing or do something like yes, you'll win her that way. Portia's her own person.
Get it out of there!
I won't describe Portia. She will do what she wants to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they will tantrum.
Okay. I look
But
forward
I'm
to
here.
it.
I'm here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they won't cross me. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think you're going to be fine. They're going through everything, and I'm not buying anything. Look at Paul. They're saying, I want this, I want this. Look, Persephone stole an apple. Or is it a pear?
It's a pear.
Pears!
That's got half dozen. Well, there's got
That's it, same as there, same as there.
There'll be 3 dozen in there, is there?
Oh, that's close to 5 dozen, sir.
5
Close to
dozen?
5 dozen, sir, yeah. Close to 5 dozen there.
You think so?
Oh, yes, yes, sir.
Well, we rounded it. We didn't round it down very much last time.
Oh, I gave you a little bit discount last time. I'm a fair man. I'm a fair man. I'm a fair man. Okay, so the fruit is done.
What? Look at these Christmas bells.
Oh, yeah, we have to buy some of them.
Yeah, these.
Yeah.
The wind doesn't practice.
Yep. Oh, that was 8 shillings. Hang on. What else can we put in there? Look, pretty, there's got to be... Can do it. Get that bottle of cordial. Hide that bottle of cordial.
Adding more things, actually.
Yeah, buy for your Christmas puddings. You will need all this stuff.
You might notice that one.
So in actual fact, he's almost double the price on this. No, he's not. It's actually 3 times the price. But I'm looking at my price list here, and 3 shillings a pop for that is about three times the going rate.
This one top quality, guaranteed to keep.
Well,
that one no good. That one rubbish. That's why it's spoiled.
Last time we bought stuff from you we lost 12 jars.
You have the Christmas cake on me, son.
No, we got 13 shillings. We got 13
You
shillings.
take that one as price. I give you Christmas cake for all the ones that spoiled last time. I give you my mother's secret recipe, beautiful Christmas cake.
The squatter enhances his bargaining power by running a single account for everyone on the station.
16, 19, 21, 23. 23 shillings.
But hawkers of the period were notoriously shrewd and difficult to win over.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah. So that's £9, 7 and 4p.
Yep. And whatever you want to throw in for Christmas spirit is up to you, sir.
Oh, after those preserves from the last time.
Well, I made it up for you. I give you discount on the new ones. I give you free Christmas cake as well. That Christmas cake is very nice.
Expensive too.
Yeah.
Look, I
I'll leave
think
it to you.
if we make it up to £9.10, is that?
Yeah, whatever.
Fair enough.
Whatever you do, sir. This is the spirit of Christmas. We do not argue.
Persephone?
There's a letter.
Hawker Singh has also brought something special for the Alcorn girls. Their first ever letter from their former governess, Genevieve.
I miss you all very much. I'm so sorry that I had to leave so suddenly and hope that it did not disrupt your routine too much. Maybe you are relieved to no longer get any of my maths problems. Are Dan and Louisa teaching you, or have you got another governess? I bet you are all horse experts by now. Do you want to read it? Where have you?
Where have you been riding? Have you made it to the other dam yet? How is little Monty? I bet he is growing rapidly and is not so little anymore. Has he got underneath the floorboards again? Please give him a cuddle from his auntie Genevieve. I bet the shearing will be exciting. I miss you all very much. Please give Molly a big pat for me. Lots of hugs, Genevieve.
Cool.
So I wonder where teacher sits.
We'll roll it as well so that everybody can see that. Hold this end for me, please. Hold tight, okay?
On their first school day with the governess, the girls are in no hurry to get into the classroom because of a life lesson happening on the veranda.
So you do this every day?
Yeah, sometimes twice a day.
You get sick of wearing it, Charles?
No, I think it's too much part of my personality now.
Really?
Because we never cut our hair. We never cut our beard as well. The beard is actually pretty long too. The beard
That's a magic trick.
yeah, so the beard is actually
It could
there.
be Johnny. No way!
Yes.
Should we comb it out? Can we like aff it out? Come on.
Current. Oh, thank you, Paul sir. You're a very kind man. Thank you very much for that. Always nice to do business with you.
And you?
We'll see you next. Thank you. All the best. Thank
All
you.
right.
Bye-bye.
See you, Karen.
See you later.
Take
Take
care.
care.
It's okay, Paul. It's okay. It's all right.
It's another hot day, and the heat is on for the new governess as she begins formal lessons with the Alcorn girls.
It's all right. It's all right.
Scared.
It's all right.
The cat got scared, Porsche.
It's okay, Porsche. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Porsche, you can
Porsche.
Quick, hit me. Ow, ow,
Porsche.
ow.
Stop
ow,
hitting it, please.
Ow.
Porsche, can I please have the recorder? Can I please have the recorder? So we need you to come and help us with this half an hour of entertainment.
Sorry.
And it's not just Portia being stubborn on the station. With around 1,350 sheep down at the holding pen, there's a last-minute problem. The stubborn sheep refuse to enter the narrow run leading to the sheep wash. The congested mob threatens to break out of the main holding yard, built of light native pine.
Get a pressure on the yard so that a broken rail or rusted wire is bound to happen.
With the working day slipping away, the men make quick repairs to prevent a mass escape. In the classroom, Fiona has managed to corral her small flock, and lessons continue.
Okay, yep, that one. Hop over to the piano and I'll tell you which one it is. You see where the black...
But on Oxley Downs, she's not only working with 3 bored children, isolated from the outside world, she's also dealing with 3 different age groups and 3 very distinct personalities.
You use a cane?
No, you're not allowed to use a cane.
No, I made a horsewhip. So I can whack you if you annoy me.
There'll be no whacking going on.
I know.
I'm sure we can all get along completely amicably, can't we?
Maybe.
I'm very aware that I'm walking in somebody else's place as well, and I don't want to be, I don't want to upset what Genevieve had established with them, because they were obviously very fond of her. I really want to try and capitalise on that and work with it rather than to make them feel like I'm trying to take over or change anything. So yeah, that's a big thing as well. It's a big worry. But just need a little time and preparation and I'll be right.
After weeks of preparation, the men are finally ready to wash the sheep. The construction of the wash has tested their ingenuity. None of the men had seen a sheep wash before, let alone designed it. Yet that's exactly what our 21st century pioneers have achieved. But will it work? Steer the sheep in the right direction, and they've laid boards along the bottom of the creek to stop the leaping sheep stirring up extra mud. In the 1860s, the best prices came from wool clean of dirt and lanolin. It saved washing in the English mills, and it made the clip lighter and less expensive to transport. But at the end of the sheep wash, Squatter Alcorn discovers that wet sheep weigh a lot more than dry ones.
Come on, bastard!
And their childlike stubbornness tests everyone's patience.
Right. They're just turning stupid. Get up! Whoa!
It just looks incredibly time-consuming. This is stupid. The sheep.
With the sheep moving again, Dan, the writer from Perth, spots a weather that hasn't resurfaced.
Swim! Swim!
After a day that began well before dawn, the men have finally finished washing all 1,350 sheep.
Oh, I looked out of the race.
Nice work. That's it, mate.
I might do a few fine tunes over here.
It's good to see the end of that job, that's for sure. So next week, shear 'em. All right, well done, guys.
That's right. Now we've got to get this one down. Okay, swap over again. You can go and find the G string.
G string.
What a great group of girls. Hey, they've learnt so much today in one day.
What a great teacher.
Oh, thank you. In one day we've managed to write letters, write procedural documents, read 3 chapters of Jane Austen, do our maths, learn half of Greensleeves on the piano, learn the scales on the first bit of the scales on the violin. It's been very profitable, actually.
The children are settled and the sheep wash is over, but for cook Bridget, work is ramping up to a whole new level. With 5 hungry shearers just over 24 hours away, she'll need all her skills to feed 20 people 3 times a day.
We've got lamb chops tonight, and I don't have a barbecue plate, so I've got to do everything in fry pans, which means getting right in over the fire and rotating the pans through the ovens to get them all cooked. Really nice, it's going to be yummy. Lamb chops and coleslaw and potato salad and fresh wholemeal bread, but it's very hot, very hot. I don't know what got on.
Julie's also feeling the heat. The loss of maid Danielle puts even more pressure on the laundry and kitchen.
Okay. Have you got a corner?
I do.
There's going to be, I don't know, 5 or 6 men. It's a big influx. We haven't had that since the wedding, and the wedding was a one-day event.
Beauty.
This is a series of days, a series of meals, and with the wedding there was a male and female were coming in. This is male. I don't know what their humour will be like. I don't know what their intake of alcohol will be like. I don't know what their, I don't know what type of persons they are. I think everyone's a bit funny about the shearers.
Yeah.
I should try and take it easy as much as I can, because I think next week it's going to be very, very hard. And I'm going to be really tested and called upon to do a lot more and do the best that I can. I'm going to need lots of energy.
Next morning, shearing preparations are well underway as Bernie, the only experienced sheep man on the station, shows the Alcorns his design for new holding pens.
And we'll have 2 shearers each catching out of the one pen. That shearer drags out of here, as does this shearer. This shearer drags out of here, so does that shearer.
But without 21st century power tools to speed up construction, the men are really under the hammer to get the pens finished before the shearer's arrival, just a day away.
Oh, well, if there's any baskets behind them anyway.
Just saw all those, yeah. Yep. The other catching pen they're doing here, and they'll just one shearer will drag out here, and they'll just both have to share this one count-out pen. A few modifications, and we'll put more timber on the floor so they can drag out, so the sheep won't be dragging on dirt.
In 1861, wool was baled by hand, and this will be a new challenge for Adam, the Navy man. It'll take all his strength to operate this 19th century hand press and keep up with 5-gun shearers.
But it's all working, so it's always a relief. Right there.
I reckon when the shearers get here, it's going to be real hard work. Harder than what it is now. At least we have a little break in the middle of the day. I don't think they take a break, the shearers.
The city dwellers can only guess at the amount of labour to come. But after many weeks on Oxley Downs, they're ready for their ultimate challenge.
But yeah, looking forward to it. Haven't done anything like sort of this before, so yeah, it should be a good week. I think next week will fly, actually. So yeah, good fun.
Oh, I think the place is working at last. How many weeks? 9 weeks into it, and the whole place is working with no dramas.
I'm having a great time here. No problems are going wrong. And all I have to say is thank you so much for letting me be out here. And all my complaints are forgotten by me, and I hope they're forgotten by you, because I ain't going home. I'm finishing this thing.
Next week on Outback House, it's make or break time as shearing begins on Oxley Downs. Everything depends on the wool clip, just as it would have done in 1861. If they get enough wool to market, they'll prove themselves as 21st century pioneers. If not, the entire experiment will fail.
It's certainly cloudy, and it looks like it's going to rain, but I don't think it will rain.
But nature has other plans, and the volunteers face an absolute disaster. That's next week on Outback House.